Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today is a brew day for me. Well, actually, I've actually done the brew. It's been a busy day. And what I've brewed today is the Old Ale. Now, the Old Ale was basically chosen. It wasn't chosen. I give three options: an Old Ale, Red Ale, and the wee heavy Scotch Ale, because I wanted to brew something that I hadn't brewed before for the local homebrew comp in January, and I wanted to do them sort of style ales. So I put a poll out and I put some comments, people to add comments, and Old Ale won. So I've brewed that today for the comp. I will brew the Red Ale and the Scotch Ale at some point, so I'll definitely do that. So what went into the Old Ale? So we had Chevalier malt, some heritage malt there, Callum Munich 2, amber malt, black patent, some Lyle's syrup, and some treacle as well. So I just want something dark. I want it in the style of Old Peculier. That's the idea. I went with, I had to use US 05 yeast, dry yeast, because that's part of the competition as well. Hit with pH 5.2, and I got a 1060 starting gravity. So possibly a 6% beer at the end of this. The brew went okay, no problems. So really the next video you can see now is the brew day footage, and then me hopefully sat there enjoying a pint of my Old Ale. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. So here's the grains crushed. So we've got the Chevalier, Callum Munich 2, amber malt, black patent malt, and then we're going to be adding some golden syrup and some treacle. And then we've got our hops, which all these Kent Goldings, salt additions, and I'm going to be using US 05 dry yeast. So let's crack on. Okay, so up to strike temp for the mash. So let's get the grains in, bags in the pan. So let's get them grains in for I'll probably steep this for about 90 minutes because it's got Chevalier malt in. So that's my target really. So get it in there, 90-minute mash. And it's going to be a 90-minute boil. So as always, avoid the clumping or the dough balls. This is aiming for a 5 litre batch of the Old Ale. So let's get it mashed down. Well, don't mash out. The aroma now is like, honestly, digestive biscuits. It's really good. There you go. So it's got the full volume of water in this one. So at this stage, for this pan, this is 10.5 litres of water. And then obviously after the boil, 90 minutes, aiming to get around about 6 litres. Then I'll lose a litre at the end, just to the basically the trub and proteins. And then hopefully just under 5 litres goes into that Demi-john for fermentation. After get my salts in, take a sample of the water for pH, check this temp. I'm going to be mashing out about 68 degrees. I think we're quite dough ball free there. Everything seems to be good. Let's get the salts in. Salts in. Give it a bit of a rinse. Take my sample, and as always, what I do is go down the side of the bag, so I'm not getting the grains. There we go. Use that sample for pH. Let's check that about 15 minutes after the mash has started. Time to put my lid on. Before I do the lid, I need to check temp. Like I say, I'm aiming for around about 68 for the mash. One thing I did forget to do is we're putting some hops in the mash today as well. So that's East Kent Goldings has gone into the mash. You say that it can add a bit more of that hop flavour. Doesn't really add any bitterness. The bitterness will come when the temperature's like 100 That's why you had that like at the start of your boil really. So I'll put the lid on and I'll get the towels on top. Okay, that's 90-minute mash done. Let's take the lid off. Just put that to the side there. Let's turn that alarm off. Okay. So hopefully we've extracted as much sugar as possible from this. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it up to, well, I'm going to get it to about 75 and do a mash out. So just basically turn the stove back on, get some heat in there, get some mash temperature around about 75, and it just helps basically get a bit more sugars out and lock them enzymes in. So let's see what we get. I'll be back in a minute when I'll be straining the grain. There we go, mash out temperature reached. Leave that for 10 minutes, then I'll strain the grain. Okay, right, gloves on. Let's get the handy rack. Let's get this bag first. So as always, the idea is get the rack underneath. Let's get all that worked out of them grains to make this old ale. Right, so we hit the boil, so 90-minute boil set now. 60 minutes I will add my first hop additions, so that's not including the ones that went into the mash. So first addition in the boil, 60-minute mark. 60-minute East Kent Goldings addition. Okay, so what I've done here, the syrup and the treacle, I got some of the wort out of the pan and then put that into the bowl with the syrup and the treacle, so that I'm not putting anything sticky in the pan which could catch to the bottom. So it basically melted in there. So what I'll do now, I'll bring that back up to the boil, and then I will add my last 10 minutes hop addition. 10-minute addition, East Kent Goldings. So hopefully you enjoyed that footage. So that was the brew day. The old ale turned out 5.6%. And like I said, it wasn't an Old Peculier clone, but it was in the style of an old ale like Old Peculier. Now, Old Peculier is 5.6% as well. So what I thought was, I'm going to crack them both open, show you them on the video. In the Homebrew comp, it received lots of good comments. It was really well received, so I'm really pleased with that. It's the first time I've brewed an old ale. It's not something I've done before, but I will be doing it again because I really enjoyed it as well. So just to run through again, so I had some heritage malts, Chevalier, I had Cara Munich, amber malt, black malt, some Lyle's golden syrup, and some treacle as well. I had East Kent Goldings, and that was it really. Went into a keg, and then I bottled it from the keg not so long ago on the 9th of January. And yeah, so let's first of all get the Old Peculier into the glass. Now, Old Peculier was what got me really to make this. Well, it was an option, wasn't it, that I give you the subscribers, but for me it came because of Old Peculier, which I had in cask in 2022, and I just thought it was amazing. So the idea of me brewing an old ale in the style of Old Peculier came from really enjoying that. So let's get this in the glass. I have done a review on this, so if you want to go back and see that. So there's the Old Peculier. So let's push that to that side, and let's get the other glass, and we'll get my beer into it. It's like I say, bottled it from the keg, so hopefully it's got some carbonation. Yeah, it has. That's good. So there we go. Sorry about that. It's looking. There's mine. So, like I say, it wasn't a clone, but I did it in the style of an Old Peculier, and I'm really, really pleased with that. Don't know if you can see that on the camera. They both got a slight red hue going through them. Same looking head. A little bit more on this was going to die down. Chuffed to bits. Really am. I'm going to be rebrewing this a few times because I really enjoyed this one on cask, and if I can do that one at home on my stove, well, there you go. You've just seen the brew day. Just giving you the ingredients. If you want to go out and brew it yourself, or send me a message and I'll give you the percentages as well. But there you go, side by side, both beers. Now I don't know if I can show you with the light going through, but if that's showing anything on there. So there's mine, and there's Old Peculier. So there we go. So yeah, like I say, chuffed to bits, well received. It didn't win because it was a beer on the night. The competition was any style, so it wasn't like it was an old ale style. It was an any style, and a Citra smash beer won it, and it was a cracking beer as well, superb. So what are we getting off this? So let's put the Old Peculier there. Let's try the Old Peculier first and see if it is any similarities in taste. I just love that flavour. You're getting dark malts, you're getting the fruitiness coming through, like a plum, which amazes me with the Old Peculier. Okay, cheers. Mine has got more, I would say, it's very similar. Mine's more like the cask version of Old Peculier because there's more maltiness coming through on that. It's not as harsh with the carbonation. It's a lot lower carbonation, which is better for me. The treacle's coming through. The malt backbone of caramel as well. Slight toffee, dark roastiness is but there. And then you're getting that fruitiness as well. So for me, that is bang on. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I don't normally do this. I normally say something needs fixing in that, but I don't know where I can improve that because I really like it. I will send a bottle or two out to a few of my friends so they can try it. But I'm really pleased. I will be rebrewing that, and that was with SO5 yeast. That was what the competition was about. It was all about the yeast. It wasn't about styles. So yeah, chuffed to bits. It looks great. Its clarity is superb. It's got that. I mean, I could put the rest of the bottle in now because it was from the keg. I can put the rest of Old Peculier in. Rest of Old Peculier going in. So there we go again. Side by side. Chuffed with that. Okay, thanks for watching. Cheers. Cheers. I'll see you on the next one.